The Rings of Power Episode 3 spends a lot of its runtime with Galadriel and Halbrand, who become actual conductors for the show's crowd as they investigate a fresh out of the plastic new area in the show. Yet in a surprisingly realistic master of the Rings limit, Númenor, the castaways are saved by Elendil, a Númenorian Sea Guard commander, and his team, and are taken to the island realm of men that Elendil hails from. As area presentations go, there are not many, however, outwardly capturing as Númenor's may be here. The scale, extension, and level of detail of the withdrawn isle is breathtaking, an eye-popping CGI, Venice-style wonder that truly does full equity to the magnificence and pomp of such a notorious Center-Earth domain. You truly get the feeling that this is one more lived-in area in this made-up world, and both the unpretentious and apparent references to realms of men we've seen in past Ruler of the Rings creations, Gondor being the clearest, are obvious to see. Yet, we have very little chance to be awestruck by Númenor's engineering and charming setting. No sooner have Galadriel and Halbrand ventured foot on dry land. We're back in history examples and grasping discussion region. Pleasingly, the Rings of Force Episode 3 doesn't overbear watchers with article dumps. A fast yet important walkthrough of Númenor's establishing lays out the domain's set of experiences, before a tension-filled prologue to other key Númenorians establish the groundworks for the strained relationship that exists between the realm's glad sub-race of men and their elven partners. Galadriel's verbal hit the dance floor with Miriel is brilliantly full of tension, and it takes an appeal-filled hostile from the drawing and Halbrand to diffuse a heightening circumstance. Quick version, Halbrand splits the difference with Miriel, meaning he and Galadriel are stuck on Númenor for a long time to come. That is a lot to Galadriel's embarrassment, who's tingling to make a trip toward the Southlands and see if Sauron has gotten back to Center-Earth. A story choice powers watchers to stay close by on Númenor as much as Galadriel and Halbrand. Yet, instead of being a plot gadget that slows down the pair's advancement toward the Southlands, one permits crowds to adapt themselves to Númenor, its kin, the pressure-fueled connections between its significant characters, and follow through on a story-based shock or two. For Galadriel, that implies getting more intel on Sauron's possible return. At first, she's halted from taking a boat from a harbor by Elendil, which prompts a riveting and fairly fun-loving volatile between the pair. Nonetheless, when the last option uncovers himself to be one of the dependable, a minority group of Númenorians who are as yet faithful to the mythical people following Morgoth's loss in the Primary Age, the chilly idea of their relationship defrosts, bringing about the couple collaborating and going to Númenor's lobby of regulation. When there, Galadriel makes a surprising disclosure because of records chronicled by Elros, otherwise known as Elrond's sibling. The Sign of Sauron, which she's routinely found during her extensive quest for the Dull Ruler, isn't simply a sigil. It's an indication for Sauron's dissipated powers to follow, one which drives them toward the Southland, where Sauron's orcs have dug a progression of passages and captured the Southland's occupants, Sylvan mythical person champion Arondir included, to use as slave work. Yet the Southlands are apparently ground zero for Mordor, the inevitable evil-filled space where Sauron dwells and draws his power from. Stunning for sure, eh? Halbrand isn't simply a customary Southlander. Galadriel has worked out what the sigil on Halbrand's pocket-style neckband implies. Many years prior, a man bearing that equivalent imprint joined the dispersed clans of the Southlands under a solitary flag, hence turning into the locale's most memorable ruler. Assuming Halbrand conveys that image with him, it implies that individual is his precursor, which makes Halbrand the Southland's ruler in pausing. It's a subplot that generally seems okay. Keep in mind, Halbrand expressed in Episode 2 that he hails from a spot that has no lord, except for that is on the grounds that he is the Southland's next ruler. Indeed, for however long this isn't a mislead on the Rings of Force's showrunner's part. However, that will be more difficult than one might expect. Galadriel could attempt to convince Elendil to go along with them. Yet he has a peevish relational intricacy to manage right now. As we see, Elendil doesn't have a productive relationship with both of his youngsters, for example Isildur and Irian, who are additionally presented in Episode 3. The warm three-way trade between these characters halfway through the show's most recent passage shows that everything isn't well among them, and it'll be intriguing to perceive how this powerful keeps on working out as the series' most memorable season advances. Galadriel lets Halbrand know that these individuals battled on the mythical people who compensated them with the island. Yet, Númenor broke that relationship, and mythical people have been unwanted from that point onward. This is made totally clear by their unfriendly gathering from sovereign official Miriel, clad in gleaming gem-conditioned scales like a fish from Númenor's waters. Galadriel, so great with a blade however so terrible with discretion, requests a boat to Center-Earth, promptly pulling the mythical people gave you this island card. It takes Halbrand's shockingly smooth tongue to stop what is happening. The partners, by some coincidence, will be Númenor's visitors while the sovereign gauges the solicitation before they are accompanied away. Arendir is compelled to keep digging the Orcs' passage framework as they subtly attempt to extend Sauron's domain. Arendir, however, won't just rest, banding along with different detainees, including individual Sylvan mythical people Metter and Watchwarden, and she needs to realize which significance is most genuine for him. To test his steadfastness, she requests that he play out a secretive help. Sadly, the hostages' arrangement is at last thwarted. The Orcs discharge a warg, a Goliath wolf-like animal, to kill the labor force. Arendir figures out how to occupy and in the end kill the warg, notwithstanding it killing 2 detainees, which permits Rivion to escape. Excruciatingly, however, Rivion doesn't make it. Arendir climbs the sides of the passage pit so as to see Rivion shot dead by bolts. Discouraged, Arendir is immediately maneuvered once more into the pit by some orcs. The reality of the situation will come out eventually. Refocusing, Nori procures the Star Heavenly Body pages from Sadok's Harfoot history book. She forgets about them for the outsider to page through, be that as it may. When he coincidentally sets them land from a close-by fire, he frightfully finds the center of a Harfoot commemoration function, where the gathering are honoring the Harfoots they've lost during their movements drove by Sadok. Terrified and confounded, the Harfoot scold Nori for her naivety in bringing a monster into their middle. Fortunately, Sadok chooses not to toss Nori and her family out of the local area, a goal that would doubtlessly bring about their passing. In any case, Sadok orders that Nori's faction should ride at the rear of the Harfoot parade when they head off to Pastures New, which fundamentally sums to passing on them to fight for themselves. The following morning, Nori's family is obviously battling to stay aware of their kindred Harfoots. Her dad Largo is keeping them down with his terrible lower leg, and the remainder of the family don't have the solidarity to move their trailer without him. All expectation, then, seems lost. That is, until their cart out of nowhere continues all alone. It's the outsider. He's followed Nori's family a ways off yet. Seeing that they need assistance, he offers them help. Companion. He tells Nori in maybe the most endearing snapshot of episode 3. Proceeding, he helps the Brandafoot faction in energetically moving their home to find the other Harfoots. Anticipate that Sadok should have a remark about the outsider staying close by next break. The Rings of Power 3rd episode is an undeniably more engrossing scene than the passages going before it. Its marriage of activity, show, humor, and heart feels more finely ready than past episodes, a pleasurable combination that owes its prosperity to not expecting to lay out numerous areas and characters.